All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking New Orleans Saints rookie offensive tackle Kelvin Banks. Banks, guys, he's getting better and better and better. We talk about the quarterback for New Orleans. They got themselves a franchise left tackle already. This kid's a stud. We'll break down everything he did so well. As always, in the comment section below, give us any feedback you might have. If you're a fan of these film reviews and want to help support us so we can do more of them, consider becoming a member of our channel. There's a link in the description box below that will take you right there. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's get started with some pass protection, and there's Banks right there at left tackle, of course, for the New Orleans Saints. So what we're going to get here is a standard protection. The play side for the New Orleans Saints, it's going to be these three guys on this particular play. They're going to take the gap to their right tackle in that gap, right guard in that gap, and center in this gap, which means the backside is going to be man-on-man here, man-on-man here. And what the Carolina Panthers do is what looks like a standard two-man rush, defensive tackle going into the B gap, defensive end going an outside speed rush. But this defensive end decides, I think it's outside the structure of the defense, to go inside and try and beat Kelvin Banks here in this situation. But the young tackle does a great job slamming him down inside, opens up a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. Let's check it out. There's a snap. It's got time. All kinds of time. It's a short throw for a decent little gain. All right, let's look at Banks at left tackle right here. You can see the defensive end comes off the football and immediately goes inside. Banks, see how he immediately turns to the three technique and washes him down inside? Say he blocks two guys, because this guard right here, he's stuck man on man. He does not see, or if he does, he can't get off in time. The defensive end working through. Banks understands 99 is coming to him, even though it's man on man. He shoves 99 into 98, and again, blocks two guys for the price of one. This is really good. I mean, this is extra savvy stuff. This is, 10-year vet kind of awareness and situational performance here from Kelvin Banks. It's little plays like this. There's a lot of offensive tackles, rookies or otherwise, that right here would kind of just run into their teammate, and the defensive end, number 98, would come inside and sack the quarterback. You punt, you'll lose the game. Kelvin Banks, what does he do? Recognize what happens, reacts, shoves the three technique, the defensive tackle, in the way of the defensive end, picks up two guys, allows the quarterback to comfortably operate, to hit the check down for a nice little play. Did it make the highlight reel? Did anyone talk about it after the game? No. But it's the little things like this that make star left tackles, which Kelvin Banks is quickly becoming, so valuable. The New Orleans Saints, a lot of attention on the quarterback. They hit it out of the park with number 71. All right, from the wide copy, you can see Kelvin Banks right there. See 98 go inside. See how he collapses everything? I mean, that's so good. I mean, this is clinic tape kind of stuff right here, to be aggressive in it right there. He understands it's an inside rush, gets into the defensive tackle. He doesn't just block him up and just put his hands on him. He puts his whole body weight into him, just runs his feet inside. I love offensive linemen in pass pro who run their feet. A lot of offensive linemen, tackles especially, they kind of stop their feet and lock up with defensive linemen. Kelvin Banks, he runs his feet. He uses pass protection as an opportunity to be aggressive and set an attitude. It's one of those things where a lot of run blocking tackles look to the run game. Kelvin Banks does that in the run game, but he does it in the pass pro game as well. Love the effort, love the technique. Great job here by 71. All right, let's get into some run game, and there's Kelvin Banks right there, of course, at left tackle. And it's just going to be a standard inside zone concept here for the New Orleans Saints. We're going to get a base reach here. We're going to get a zone double team here, working up to linebacker. We're going to get a scoop here, working up to linebacker. Backside scoop here, backside scoop here. We're going to get motion pre-snap to draw the flow from the linebackers and safeties with the motion that direction right there. And the running back's just going to take the handoff, go in this direction, just trying to find a hole wherever he can. Now, this is a situation where 9 times out of 10, the running back feels like he has to cut it back just like that. But what the Saints are able to do, because of really good blocks at the point of attack and with Banks getting movement right here, there's a big crease that the running back is able to hit for a nice run. Let's check it out. There's motion. There's a snap. Inside run. Big hole. Good cut there. Nice little run. Good job. Number 24 stepping up. Gonna have to break down his film one of these days. Let's look at Banks at left tackle. Fire to the defensive end and drive him out of the way. Look at this. A little nastiness from the rookie. Little tenacity. Again, driving your feet, moving your feet. I talked about it on the previous play, how a lot of young tackles and tackles in general, they look to the run game to drive their feet. We saw Banks use it in the pass game, moving his feet well. But guess what? He brings it when it comes to run blocking, which is great to see. Look how he expands the hole. So right here, this is a decent little hole, but you see the safety filling. But because Banks widens out the hole, the safety goes a little wider, allows the running back to cut back behind it. Again, the little things matter in run blocking. You obviously have to get hats on hats, and you have to execute your assignment, and the Saints do a great job. Center, good reach there, good zone double team, guard up to the next level. Really good stuff right there. No one for 51 to block, which obviously, is a good thing right there. If you're looking for someone to block, means it's going to be a good run. But Banks had the key block here by winding out the defensive end right there. See how he lifts him up off the ground? Look at this. I mean, this defensive end, he's airborne, folks. That's not a good football position to be in. Good job by Banks running his feet, adding a physical nature to his game. Love to see it from the rookie.
Yeah, and as we saw in this play, good run blocking stuff for Kelvin Banks. But where he really shined in this game, I think he had a real revelation in the pass blocking department. He's had good grades all year, but this one stood out, an 87.8 pass blocking grade for him, 10 points higher than any other pass blocking performance he has had. We've seen some good stuff. We had a great run blocking game from him last week, as we saw some highlights so far in his run blocking performances. But one thing I want to get on is his pass blocking performance in this game. I think he found something really great job for Banks in the pass blocking game.
All right, let's go back to more pass protection. And there's Banks, of course, right there at left tackle for the New Orleans Saints. And it's going to be another standard pass protection here for the Saints O-line. The play side, which is going to be these three guys on this play, they're all going to take the gap to their right. Right tackle taking this gap, right guard taking this gap, center taking this gap, which means man-to-man on the backside. Man-to-man here, man-to-man here. Now, we saw in a previous play, of course, the first play in the sequence, Kelvin Banks Jr. did a great job when the defensive end did an inside move, crashing everything inside. This time, this defensive end is going to do a standard speed rush on the outside, one-on-one on Banks. I tell you what, guys, this rookie handles it and makes it look easy. He's a special player. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Has time. It's time. Runs out of time. Hits a check down to the running back. Good little run after catch. Nice play. All right, let's look at Banks all the way back here to the very beginning. All right, speed rush. Handles it with ease. Really good technique. There's so much here that's good to break down. All right, watch his punch right there. That punch to stop the momentum. Chop him on the shoulder. Love to see that. Gets the shoulders turned to the defensive end right there. See how his shoulders now turn a little bit? That's good. Gives you a wide angle to strike him with your hands. Gets both hands on him. Right there, running his feet. Good base. Maybe he leans a little bit too much, but I tell you what, that's a ticky-tacky kind of thing. What's happening over here? Oh, my goodness gracious, that looked ugly. Is 3 okay, guys? Ugh. Oh, my goodness, that looked ugly. Jeez, sorry. Oh boy. Tough to watch. But let's look at Banks here again. As 98 tries to go with the spin move right here at the end of the play, watch what Banks does right here. Patty kicks him in the back right there, shoves him upfield. Good technique, guys. That's what it's all about. Banks is one of those guys that when he came out of college, out of Texas, people said, great size, great strength, really good technique, day one NFL starter. And he's one of the few offensive tackles that have had that billing who have lived up to it since day one. You can go back to the preseason. We've done film reviews on him all the way back to the Chargers preseason game. He's looked good from snap one, and he's only gotten better. His technique is great. His athleticism shines through. His hand placement, his base, footwork, everything is outstanding for this promising young rookie. All right, for the wide copy, watch Banks right there at left tackle. Again, one-on-one on the edge rusher. Good punch, runs him upfield, pounds him in the back, completely negates him. I mean, this is embarrassing for a defensive end in this situation. One-on-one with no help, and you get nowhere near the quarterback. Nowhere near. It's one thing if you're a defensive end and you try like a funky move, like a spin move or something like that at the top of your rush, and you just trip and fall, or you try a speed move and he runs you around the hump. Right? You kind of live with that. Right? Like, okay, I went a little off-speed pitch to use a baseball analogy, and it just didn't work. This is a situation where the defensive end tried a little speed, little rip, little spin move there, tried a little bit of everything and got nowhere. This is utter, total, undeniable domination by the rookie left tackle. Great technique, great base, great punch, great footwork, everything you want to see in a rookie, everything you want to see in a veteran tackle. This young player, he's got it in spades. All right, going back to the running game, and there's Banks, of course, at left tackle. We're going to get another inside zone concept, so we're going to get a base reach here, zone double team right here, working up to the next level. We're going to get a tight scoop right here, working to linebacker, wide scoop here. We're going to get a little motion action this way to get a little flow from the linebackers and safety that direction, and it's going to be a straight inside handoff and not a design cutback, but pretty much a design cutback before it's all said and done. I mean, you can see, looking at the structure of the defense, they got 3 guys right here. You can see the running back doesn't really want to run in that direction. He wants to hit up the hash, and that's where it ends up hitting. Now, Banks, again, does a really good job on this base reach. He fires out into this defensive end and gets a little bit of movement here. That's all you're trying to do, trying to dent the defense. Let's check it out. There's a motion. There's a snap. Inside handoff. There's the cutback up the hash. Nice little run. That's what it's all about, guys. Stay ahead of the change. Just gash the defense, 6 yards at a time. It's winning football. It's what the Carolina Panthers have been doing with Rico Dowdle, right? It's one of the things, Panthers fans, you've been on the other side of it. This kind of play right here, running the ball down your throat, can be demoralizing. Let's look at Banks here at left tackle. drives him off the football. I tell you what, that's good work. Gets movement, dents the defense a little bit. I mean, you're not going to get a pancake block. It's not high school football, right? You're just trying to dislocate the defense. Look at this double team right here, guys. This is what we're talking about. Look at the Saints O-line moving people. When you get the defense dented like this and you widen out the hole, it makes cutting back so much easier, right? Look at the defensive end where he begins contact right there. Where does he widen out? Another 2 yards. You can see where Alvin Kamara's target is. See the initial contact right there. That's where Kamara's running. And his foot, his left foot right there, if you don't get movement at the left tackle, runs right into Banks. But because Banks gets movement, it allows Kamara to press it wider, which opens up the cutback lane. Little things matter in the run game. Little things matter in everything. But getting movement solves a lot of ills, and that's what the Saints have started to do, whether it's the center left guard here, really the right guard, right tackle, everyone getting movement here for the New Orleans Saints. But Kelvin Banks Jr. at the point of attack, getting a good dent in the defense. Saints fans, you got to be excited about this. Carolina Panthers fans, you may want to start looking away if you're even watching it this far, because I tell you what, this rookie is getting good, and this offensive line is dominating.
I think another good thing that Banks did in this game is he played a clean game. That's one thing I will say this year. Had quite a bit of penalties. He had 6 so far this season, but against the Panthers, 0 penalties for Kelvin Banks, keeping it clean. You want to get a good offensive lineman, got to have good play. Can't make those penalties, really can kill a team, especially the Saints. They need all the help they can get. So clean game by Banks. I think that's a really great job for him.
All right, quick break in the film review. Look, I was taught to break down film by my college coaches at the Division I level. All the players are. It's just a fact of playing football at that level. And I want to take this opportunity to give you guys, the average fan, more opportunities to get that insider knowledge of how the game is taught at that highest level of college football. I created a checklist, a step-by-step guide for you guys, 100% free. That's based on how I was taught to break down film by my coaches, and then I use today to create these film reviews. There's a link in the description box below that'll take you right to it. I really appreciate it if you guys decide to get it. Again, 100% free, just trying to share information to you guys, stuff that was taught to me by my coaches. But without further ado, let's get back into the film. All right, let's go back to more pass protection, and there's Kelvin Banks Jr. at left tackle for the Saints. So you can see the Carolina Panthers, they've got what we call an odd front. They got 5 guys down. They got 5 guys, right? Odd, 5's an odd number, makes sense, which basically creates a lot of opportunities for one-on-one. You can see one-on-one here, one-on-one here, one-on-one here. And here on the backside, we got an interesting situation with the left guard and left tackle. Basically, these 2 guys here have to be responsible for these 2 guys. And so the call at the snap, at the line of scrimmage, is probably going to be what they call a fan call with the left tackle, communicating to the left guard saying, listen, I'm working out here. But it's one of those situations where if you're the left tackle and you make a fan call and this head up 4-eye being the inside eye of the tackle, if he goes outside, you got to be ready to pick him up. So even though your responsibility is this player, if you're Kelvin Banks, your job is to do a slow pass set, keep a heavy hand inside for this defensive lineman here, allow your left guard to come over and take him up. And if he goes outside, you got to take him over. But otherwise, you're looking for the edge rusher. If it sounds complicated, it is. It's a tough assignment. Banks does a great job, though. Let's check it out. All right, a little pre-snap motion. There's a snap. Short little throw over the middle. Down to the 2. Good offense. Let's look at 71 right here. Execute this absolutely perfectly. All right, watch his right hand. See how he strikes a defensive tackle and then works out to the defensive end? Loses his footing a little bit, right? And I think he trips maybe, or does he just slip and fall? I think he just slips and falls. He does lean a little bit. When I talked about that a few plays ago, this is what I'm talking about. But overall, this is really good. Again, heavy first hand right there allows the guard to come over, pick him up. Then he works out to the defensive end, and he's got him with a good base, good punch, good pocket for the quarterback to operate. Again, if you rush 5 guys and the quarterback can just read the defense and hit the open man right over the football, hey, that's good O-line play, right? No running back help either. Alvin Kamara basically releases right out into the flat as a check down. I mean, tough situation for the quarterback, but he reads it well, hits the open guy. Good offense across the board. But it all starts with protection. It all starts with your left tackle, protecting a young quarterback's blind side. I tell you what, Saints fans, we'll have to see. Tyler Shuck had a really good game against Carolina. Whether he'll be the long-term starter, that's a question that'll be answered, I think, by his performance. But I think one question that's already been answered for the Saints is who's going to be their blindside protector for the next decade? It's number 71, especially when you look at plays like this. All right, for the wide copy, watch Banks right there at left tackle. You're going to see he's going to do a great job with that right arm at the snap. Right there, striking the defensive tackle, good stuff. Then gets into the pass set, right there. Takes a defensive end, winning football. I tell you what, this guy blocks a lot of the time 2 guys. He gets 2 for the price of 1 a lot. A lot. Now, look, he's not going to be perfect. You can see again, he leans too much and falls forward, right? Not great finish right there. A+ start, A+ middle, kind of D finish if we're being honest. But over the course of the game and so far over the course of his young career, it's been a lot of really, really good from Kelvin Banks Jr. A lot of people looked at the Saints and said, well, maybe should they've gone quarterback earlier? Was tackle really the biggest need? I tell you what, the draft is all about getting good players. Sometimes it's about getting great players, and they got one in 71. All right, let's talk about something Banks needs to work on, and there he is at left tackle. We're talking a little run game here, but it's a different kind of concept. It's sort of a gap concept from the shotgun, which I'm going to be totally honest, especially when you have all these guys in 2-point stances, I don't love it. You're trying to really overthink here things a little bit. What they're going to do here for the Saints is they're saying, listen, we got pass protectors and 2-point stance. They got pass rushers on the field. We're just going to run a simple gap concept. We're going to get a base block here. We're going to get a base block here, base block here, guard working up to, or center, working up to the next level, and base block here, right? Should be pretty easy to hand it off inside and try and crease this sucker. But it's one of those things because everyone's in a 2-point stance. Everyone just feels awkward coming out run blocking, and Banks is no different. He fires out and gets a little too far out in space and gets beat inside. I think it's something he needs to work on. When he's in run blocking mode, he's great. When he's in pass blocking mode, he's great. But when he's at a pass blocking stance trying to run block, he has some issues. Let's check it out. There's a snap, inside handoff, nowhere really to go. Not much there. Not a great run. All right, let's break this down from Banks' perspective. Fires out, gets speed across his face. It's one of those things right here. If it's like the first play in the film review, if he washes him down inside, it's a winning rep. But because he gets beat clean inside like this, it's a losing rep. And this is a situation where we've seen him in run game where he's had his hand on the ground in more of a 3-point stance, more of a run blocking stance. He does a really good job. But here, because he's trying to run block out of a pass protection 2-point stance, not so good. And this is something I think a lot of players struggle with, and for good reason. It's hard to do. I think with more reps, he can be good at it. I think in terms of his athleticism, he can get it done. You can see a right tackle. They do a pretty good job there, to be totally honest. It's a really good effort right there by the right tackle. I think that's what Banks needs to do. I think he treats it, because he's in a 2-point stance, a little too passively. I think if he's more aggressive, like we see at right tackle, he could do better in the future. And it's one of those things. Again, he's a rookie. Not going to be perfect every time. But I think overall, he's still trending in the right direction.
I think one thing that Banks could work on, in my opinion, is I want to see more consistency. He's had a couple of really good games. We look at what he was able to do last week. He had that 84.4 run blocking grade last week, showing what that size and ability he has, 6'4", 320 can do. But this week comes back down to earth, another 60 overall grade. Those 20-point swings, you don't want to see him. I'm not saying he needs to have an 84 every single week, but if he can get it up, have closer to a base of 70, I think it'd be really great for this Saints team going forward. Just want to see a little bit more consistency in the run blocking game.
All right, that's it on some pass protection. And there, of course, is Kelvin Banks at left tackle. He's going to be one-on-one right here. Edge rusher over here on the left side of your screen. He's got a lot of green grass to work with. We call that a wide 9 technique. He's out so far wide. One-on-one, mano-a-mano, pass rusher on left tackle. The rookie wins, and he wins decisively. Great job by Kelvin Banks. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Here comes the blitz. Can't find anybody open. Ends up taking a sack. But the left tackle, looking at Kelvin Banks here. Kick step, good punch. Resettles his hands, anchors down, wins the rep. This is what Kelvin Banks does all game long. It's a terribly tough situation. Wide 9 technique with this much green grass, that's really hard to defend. It's just one of those things where you're a left tackle in space against an edge rusher. It's a nightmare scenario, but Kelvin Banks, calm, cool, collected, good strike there, regathers himself, and just wins. And that's what he does. He is just a winner. He's got some things to improve on. We highlighted the one play in the running game that I really didn't like. But overall, as a pass protector, takes out 2 guys, a lot more than he takes out none. As a run blocker, gets movement at the point of attack. He's a very polished player, but he's got enough athleticism and skills where he could become even better. You talk about one of the best picks of the top 10 in the 2025 NFL Draft, not mentioned nearly enough is Kelvin Banks Jr. He's very quickly becoming a star for the Saints.